Hello, my name is Dr. Bob Minniti, and I wanted to share some information that I've been tracking in the news recently. I like to share information on fraud topics, especially those that I normally do webinars on. And we've seen some interesting things in the news recently. And one of them was the advertisements for a big credit card leak. Basically, the criminal perpetrators referred to it as Biden Cash. Hey, we have 2023 credit cards that we've stolen the information for. They've been able to get the credit card numbers, the billing zip codes, the security codes for the credit cards, the names on the cards, etc. And they're selling these on the dark net. But in this case, they're actually giving them away for free. They say they have 2 million credit cards. Now, this is, of course, something that criminals are going to like. Oh, gee, I can get some free credit cards, something that I can use. I can use this to go online and make purchases, or I can use it to create fake credit cards. And those are pretty easy things to do. Most criminals can figure out how to do it. So in this case, what they're saying is that they've been able to get these cards, and we're only into March, so it's not like, oh, gee, I got a big data breach in 2023. They haven't taken a lot of time to have to perform these things. So one of the things we talk about for your business or your individual credit cards, how are you monitoring them? How are you making sure that you immediately notify the issuer if there's any issues? And of course, sometimes the best time to notify them if you see an unusual transaction on your credit card is, when it's still in that pending stage. Somebody's, applied to charge your card, but, it hasn't gone through yet. Because if the credit card company can stop it before it actually posts on your account, that helps to protect everybody, both the credit card issuer and you, from fraudulent transactions. Now, even though this particular one is on credit cards, don't forget to keep an eye on your debit cards. If you have a debit card for a business or personal account, you want to be making sure that you're watching the transactions on those cards. Understanding it's not just credit card information that they're making available on the dark net. There are also opportunities. There were some recent articles out there on, a survey of what the common costs are for buying, if you can get a name, a full social security number, a credit card number, a bank account login. They're looking for user ID number, user IDs and passwords for bank accounts or financial accounts so that they can get in there and transfer cash out. They're also looking for user ID and passwords for Facebook accounts. And don't forget some of the payment transfer accounts that have become very popular, Zella, PayPal, etc. You want to make sure that you've done a good job of having different user IDs and different passphrases. The days of using a password are, obsolete. That's like, trying to use a horse and buggy on the freeway. It's not going to go over real well. People are going to want to go by, and then, we can't use that ancient technology. So you want to consider and make sure that any passwords you have for your bank accounts, credit card accounts, etc., you want to make sure they have at least 15 characters, upper and lowercase letters, numbers, special symbols. Honestly, if you're just dealing with what a lot of people use for a PIN number on a credit card, a 4-digit number, I can crack that in less than a second with software that's easily available for purchase on the darknet. So it's not hard to find some of this stuff. And when we're looking at the information that's out there and, what they're talking about selling, obviously names, dates of birth, social security numbers, addresses, phone numbers, email address, bank account details, any type of personal information. Now, remember, if you're running a business, almost all states, actually all 50 states, plus our federal District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., and the territories all require businesses to secure that personal information. Now, we offer webinars on these topics. Obviously, I can't cover everything that we want to cover in one of these short videos. But we do have some webinars you might be interested in on identity theft and credit card fraud. Both will be something you want to think of, especially if you realize that your credit card numbers have been compromised, that somebody's been able to get a hold of them. So, we talked about having a good password as one way to protect your information, making sure that you're watching your credit card activity. Some people do this using some of the credit card monitoring services. Some people do it alone. You want to make sure that if your bank offers alerts, that you sign up for those for unusual transactions, things that you wouldn't normally do, and that and you can even list certain types of transactions that you always want an alert on. Oh, I never do a cash advance. I automatically want to get an email or a text message if someone tries to use my card for, a cash advance or for services that you wouldn't normally purchase. You need to make sure that on your personal computer, and don't forget your cell phone. A lot of people keep the information on their cell phone and they forget to put antivirus, anti-malware, anti-ransomware software on their cell phones. They have it on their home computer or their business computer, but they don't have them on the cell phones. When we go out and look at cybersecurity, the fact that they don't have antivirus on their cell phones is usually one of the areas that we look at. Also, making sure that you have a VPN or a virtual private network in order to protect your information. The VPN encrypts your data as it's being sent over the internet and then decrypts it when it gets to its destination. One of the unfortunate things we see is a lot of people turn off their VPN because it slows down their ability to upload and download data from the internet, specifically files. It's going to take longer to get your files when you're using the VPN. You want to also consider making sure that you talk to your homeowners or renters insurance agent and look at getting, identity theft protection. Now, they're not going to pay off if somebody charges something on your card. They're not going to pay that off. It's a fraudulent transaction that shouldn't get charged to you at all. The issuer is going to eat that cost usually. But what's going to happen is you may have costs for proving it wasn't your charge, having to go to court, having to hire a forensic accountant or an attorney. The insurance will help to cover some of those costs. And especially if you're a business, we want to make sure that you have some type of cybersecurity insurance for businesses. And we understand that these risks are out there, and we're constantly seeing new information and new risks that are dealing with cyber fraud and cybersecurity. But I just wanted to bring you this one. And by the way, the fact that it's called BidenCash, that's not, at least from my opinion, a political thing. It's just some way for the criminals to try to get everybody's attention. And if you're interested, I did post the link to this particular article on my LinkedIn account. So if you want to take a look at it, it's easy to find. With that being said, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to view this short video and wish you all a good day. Thank you.